Okay, so we're just talking about the training you do for an event like this, and of course it's different from training for a single event like an Ironman or something where you build up and build up and build up, hit a peak, do your absolute best, and then you drift off again. This is a plateau for a consistent period of effort over a consistent period of time. And I think you're saying in Israel you got average 84 k's a day for 12 days.
Yeah.
So how do you prepare for that? Training-wise, what do you do?
Well, you don't. You can't prepare to run 5,000 k's across Australia, 3,000 across New Zealand, 1,000 k's in Israel, or anything else. And those sort of distances, you just cannot train for that. The training's almost within the activity itself. Or what I seem to have is, what I have is this base, this real high base.
Yep.
You can springboard off that, having that high base. So even people like coach always say it's important to have this solid base, like be it 100 k's a week, 80 k's a week, 50 k's a week, whatever the case may be, that you do easily do, and you can just go off and run these distances each day to have this good solid base. It's very easy then to layer stuff on top of that.
Yep.
You can't go from everybody knows you can't go from 0 to 100k or even a marathon or even 10 kilometers. You have to start somewhere. So it's just having this good solid base, which I like to think I've got.
Yep.
Miles in the bank from all the stuff I've done, and then you just draw on those.
Yeah, I think you got a pretty solid base.
Almost 11,000 k's last year on trails.
Wow.
I
got a mate who did 9,000 on a bike, and I thought he was nuts. That's a mountain bike too, not a road bike. But
it's good going too.
Yeah. This year he's probably going to top that. Yeah. So as you said, you can't prep for that. There is some prep. Obviously, you can do. As you say, you've got a base in the amount of effort you've got in there. Nutritional wise and health wise, is there anything you do that makes sure that you stay on that base, that you don't drift off?
I try and be as normal as possible, which sounds stupid. I've just said I ran 11,000 k's last year.
I know what you mean though, because as I was talking about before, you're building to a peak event. As you said, you have a base that you work from, but you can springboard off that. I mean, I know I did a 21 k's. I've been training at 10 and 15s. I knew I could push to 21, but it wasn't something I could repetitively do. So to do that, I actually consumed 4 times as much gel as I expected to in the last 4 k's. Now, that's something I can't repeat on a daily basis, but you can push to that. Going back to the base, if you're thinking about plateauing, and for my case that's a 10k, average 10k. If you're plateauing, if you're averaging 80 k's a day, what things are you doing nutritionally wise and so on to ensure that your body as a base can hit that consistently, as opposed to having to just push every day with an extra bit of something that you know is going to crash you the next day?
Well, the surprising thing is that it's nothing special. People seem to think they have this special diet, and I think the more normal you can make your nutritional approach, the better. Meaning that you have your normal 3 meals a day, square meals where you have plenty of vegetables, plenty of meat, carbohydrates. People seem to think you can have these super overloaded carbohydrate foods, which is, it's not necessarily true. You can just normal meals. That's what I do, making sure I'm getting all the nutrients in, and then obviously the days are loaded up with sports nutrition, just because it's easy to carry. It's high in sugar and all those things that you need. But I mean, I try and eat a lot of solid food too, because you mentioned before about the gels. Well, you try eating gels for 15 hours a day for 6 months, it gets a bit boring. So
apart from that,
so you just take sandwiches with it. I mean, it's not like.
Well, not like in a race either.
Just go bam, quick
you can stop and have a sandwich.
I can stop and eat. That's the cool thing. Sometimes I've stopped with a little cooker and cooked something. I mean, it's trying to be as normal as possible, not some super, healthy diet thing. I still drink. I still eat junk food. The good thing about eating, running so many kilometres means that you can eat a fair bit of crap too, because you need the energy. I'm not saying you go and eat junk food for the rest of your life, but you can. I have desserts and stuff, and lollies and all that sort of stuff.
So that's the physical stuff, and it sounds like it's pretty simple, really. At the end of the day, 84 k's a day, 12 days. But so let's talk about maybe some of the less obvious stuff, the non-physical things. The mental preparation and all the hard work and stuff that's behind the scenes, the stuff that people don't see. And I suppose you've talked a little bit to me off camera about some of the craziness that goes on in terms of preparing, how much work there is involved. But I suppose it's a bit of a relief then when you actually hit the trail, then that's all gone, and all you have to do is but how do you focus and remove distractions related to that stuff once you're actually in that running zone?
Yeah, well, as you said, the lead up to these things is an endurance event in itself. This is harder than actually running the 84 k's a day. It's endless. Like, you know, 5:30 starts, getting to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning, Skype calls to the Middle East, all these different people are involved in this stuff. Writing out documents we've never even heard of before, emergency evacuation documents from the desert. Like, what? Just make it up. But yeah, I mean, it's you don't worry about that once you're there because it's all done now. So you do all this, so you don't have to think about it when you're there. It's just a case of going from A to B. Mentally, I don't think about running the whole distance. I just worry about day one. And on day one, I just break day one into the first hour, the second hour, the third hour. If I think about running over 1,000 kilometres over 12 days through the desert and mountains, yeah, that blows me away. You know, it's like, well, that's too much. So you have to bring it right back and go, all I've got to worry about is today.
That's no different to me running 10Ks. I break up my lampposts.
Same thing. I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And then that day gets broken down to the hour. So it's like today, all I've got to do is run 84 kilometres. I have to worry about the other 1,000. Just today, 84 kilometres. So it is a
Sounds pretty simple. 84 Ks. Yeah. I can't even ride 84 Ks. Yeah.
It's not that far.
No. I made my kids walk 13 Ks once, not long, last year. That was funny. I had to carry them for about 3. Yeah.
This is about persistence.
Persistence, yeah.
It's like in training, you just got to be persistent in your training every single day to achieve a goal, like, or anything in life. You know?
Yep.
It's something you learn on. Well, I always say to people, it's not the fact that I'm a super athlete or I wasn't even born into an athlete's family. None of my family runs or does any sort of adventures. I don't really have a runner's physique, really, compared to a lot of different people. I think the only reason I succeed is...
No, I drove past you on the street thinking you were a businessman before.
Exactly. So, you know, I think one of the reasons I probably succeed at what I do is just I refuse to quit. That's what I meant.
It's a great attitude in life, mate. Great attitude.
Just do not quit, you know. And something you learn very quickly is that if you stop, give up, you know, and don't just pursue what this thing that you're on, is that you'll just quit you'll fail every time. You just gotta keep going.
And that's your message to anybody who's following this?
Absolutely, yeah. Just persistence in anything. Yeah, it's like anything. Just gotta keep plugging away.